Thank you. We're live now.
Okay, super. So good afternoon, everybody. This is the decision day of me. I'm Nick Adams-King. I'm the Executive Lead Member for Universal Services at Hampshire County Council, and of my colleague Kirsty North, who is the Executive Member for Countryside and Regulatory Services. Decision days are being broadcast in one session live on YouTube via the County Council website. And so with me are a number of other members. Jackie Branson, who is the Vice Chair of the Universal Services Overview and Scrutiny Committee, and the independent member, who's Councillor Sarah Pankhurst. I'm desperately looking through the list to see if any other councillors are here yet. I don't think we have. I think neither Rob nor Rupert are here at the moment. So that's the members, and then obviously lots of officers to support us with this. So there are no deputations today, and we'll go straight on to the first item on the agenda, which is the project appraisal for Schola recladding at Crookhorn College, Henry Beaufort School and Hart Plain Infant School. Patrick.
Thank you, Councillor Adamson. Good afternoon, everybody. As you say, this is the project appraisal for the Schola reclad. There are three schools which we're looking at here: Crookhorn College, Henry Beaufort School and Hart Plain Infant School. I think the thing to note in this paper is that the actual reclad will be a significant improvement on both the thermal and the environmental performance of the school, which in turn benefits the energy efficiency. And the timing of this paper is quite key because it enables the work to be started over the summer during a period of the school holidays. So that's all I was going to say by way of an introduction. I'm joined with colleagues from Property Services on the call if there are any sort of detailed questions we need to pick up, including Max Whitlock, who is the author of that report. But I was probably not going to say any more than that, Councillor Adams-King.
Super, thanks, Patrick. Obviously, I think we've got there are a large number of these buildings that we've traditionally had in Hampshire, and so this is part of an ongoing programme which upgrades them, and obviously great news for these schools because they get much better facilities as a consequence. Jackie knows all about this. Do you want to say anything, Jackie, or?
Just to say, as Chairman of Governors of Crookhorn College, I am really delighted that this is going to happen, and it will be a great improvement for the school.
Great, thank you. Kirsty, anything to add?
Only that it's really good news, so thank you.
And Sarah?
Yeah, good to see that the council are investing in the schools, and it's really important that they become energy efficient going forward. So I hope that many more also are able to be included going forwards.
Brilliant, thanks very much. I think it's part of an ongoing programme, so no doubt there'll be more to come along after a while. So I'm very happy to approve that. Thanks, Patrick. Should we go on to the next one? So item 2 is spend approval for cleaning of corporate properties contract.
Okay, again, thank you very much, Councillor Adams-King. So as you say, this is spend approval, procurement and spend at single supplier for the non-education cleaning contract. I think the points to note from this paper are it really creates efficiencies, but it enables us to streamline the contract and the administration and the processes that go with that. I think just another key point that I was going to bring out by way of introduction is you'll see our estate is quite large. This is the non-education estate we're talking about here, but it enables the flexibility as we chop and change the estate as we go through. I mean, the estate will evolve over time, and this contract will allow that flexibility for us to work with that agility there. So that was all I was going to say by way of introduction. Again, I'm joined with property colleagues here. We've got the author of the report, Daniel Sanchez, on the call, and very happy to take any detailed questions on that. Thank you.
Thanks very much. So again, colleagues, hands up if anyone wants to say anything. No, we're all good. I was once told, my first ever boss told me that asked me who the most important person in an office was, and I said you. He went, no, it's the cleaner. And I think that's very true. And getting the cleaning right enables us to do everything else. So it's all very, it's all important stuff. I'm very happy to approve that, and I'm sorry, I should have said thank you to Max and thank you to Daniel for the reports, which obviously go into lots of detail about that. So, but yeah, all good from me. Third one's also about spend approval, this time for the property term maintenance contract. Again, Patrick, so similar kind of stuff, I guess.
Sure, thanks, Councillor King. Again, property term maintenance contract, the purpose of this report really is about providing headroom in the term maintenance contract by way of the approvals that we have, which is giving an uplift in the anticipated spend. I think the report goes into quite a lot of detail, and what it does, it sets out the reasons why we're asking for that uplift in the headroom. But they include things we'll be quite familiar with around things like inflation, for example, and actually the fact that our estate has changed since this was put in place. I think a really important point of note for this report is whilst we're asking for the approval of that headroom, that uplift, we still will have the normal cycle as part of our governance, which is the annual approvals, the budgets, and that which is the spend within the actual headroom and the uplift we're asking for here. So again, that was all I was going to say by way of an intro to this paper. We're joined by Chris Topley, who's the author of this report. If there's any questions or comments that want to make, thank you.
Super, thanks. So colleagues, again, anything anyone would like to add? This one, questions? Jackie? Oh no, not Jackie. Okay. Sarah, no. All good. I mean, obviously, throughout all of the different types of construction that we do, not least in the main area of highways that I normally deal with, we've seen loads of inflation in building materials and so on. So it's not surprising that we're asking for this in some respects. On the other hand, it's good to know equally that, as people would have seen, we're looking very much at our estate, and so it gives us the flex to be able to react to any of the changes in the estate that we want to as well. So it's all good news from that respect. So I'm very happy to approve that as well. And thanks to Chris for the report and all the work on that. And I think that's possibly my fastest decision day ever. So there we are. And so over to Kirsty.
Thank you very much, Nick. So as Councillor Adams-King said, I am Kirsty North, the Executive Member for Countryside and Regulatory Services. Thank you very much for attending my part of the virtual decision day today, which continues on the same webcast. I have no public deputations, so the first item is the scheme of delegation for land and asset transactions. And I understand Patrick is going to give us a brief intro, so over to you, Patrick.
Lovely. Thank you, Councillor North. So as you say, this is the scheme of delegation, but particularly in relation to land and asset transfers that we're considering here today. What it does, it starts to look at our existing arrangements and the officer delegations that sit within that. And what we propose within the report is consolidating those arrangements and just making them fit for purpose. It's been a while since some of them have been looked at, and therefore bringing them up to speed, bringing them up to standard and making them fit for purpose. What it will enable us to do is really just be more efficient within our delivery, but I think importantly that agility and ability to move quickly where we have opportunities with our assets. And so the delegations really set that out in detail. It's quite complex in terms of the numbers of them, so I don't propose to go into all the details here, but they're set out in the report. I'm joined by Rachel Overton on the call. Rachel's our head of estates and is the author of drafting this report. So if there are any detailed questions from members, very happy to take those, and perhaps Rachel will be able to answer those. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick, and thank you to Rachel for being here and being on hand. I'm pretty happy. We've obviously had a briefing about this already, but any members, would you like to comment at all or ask any questions? I'm seeing lots of shakes of heads. So in which case, the recommendation on page 37, I'm very happy to approve that. And then my other item today is exempt, so it even shorter and sweeter because I now have to thank you all for attending and exclude the press and public. And would you like me to read the full statement, Caroline?
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
So the public be excluded from the decision day during the following item of business, as it is likely, in view of the nature of the business to be transacted or the nature of the proceedings, that if members of the public were present during this item, there would be disclosure to them of exempt information within paragraph 3 of part 1 of Schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972. And further, that in all the circumstances of the case, the public interest in maintaining the exemptions outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information for the reasons set out in the report. So could we please end the webcast?
Thank you. I'm just waiting for confirmation.